As you can see in this report for the managers, there are 3 columns with amounts in it. This one with the paid fees, the one with the due fees, and the one with the total fees. There's also one for total cost, but that's a different situation which we will explain later. Now first, let's have a look at the paid, due, and total fees. We go to Administer, Data Processor, Manage Data Processors, and we have a look at the data processor which we already created with the event income summary. As you can see on the data sources side, there's the event information and participant information, but more importantly in this situation is the 3 data sources, all for contributions. One for the paid event fees, one for the due event fees, and one for the total event fees. When we have a look at the paid event fees, we can see that we filtered this one on the status of the contribution completed. This means that in this data source we only count the completed contributions. The second one is the amount for the due event fees, and there we filter on any contribution of the status that is not of the one completed. In the third data source of the total event, there is no filter at all. Secondly, we define the fields in the report. First of all, we have the paid fees. And when we have a look at that, we can see that we use the aggregation function of the field. And we choose the function sum. There are other functions like average or minimum or count, but in this case we want to have the sum of the paid fees. We choose the field paid event fees, total amount. And here we can also do some formatting like the number of decimals and the prefix, etc. Now let's have a look at the field for the due event fees. It looks exactly the same as the paid event fees, but it has a different data source. This time we use the data source due event fees, which means that we sum up the amount of money that people still need to pay for the event. Using this functionality of the data processor, it enables us to create reports where we can add up fees or count the number of participants. In this income report, we also show the total cost of an event. These are custom fields on an event. As you can see here on the event European Forest Conference, all the way at the bottom, there are custom fields where we noted down the event cost for location, speakers, training, catering, and marketing. In the report, they need to be added first as separate fields before we can count them up. Let's have a look at the report again. And here you can see event cost, location, marketing, speakers and trainers, and catering. When we look at one specific field, they look like this: raw field value, and that's it. The last thing we do is we create an event which is called total cost. And this is a field of the type calculations on multiple fields adding up. And now you can see why we needed to add those 4 separate fields, because we need to tell the data processor which fields to count. Location, speakers and trainers, catering, marketing. Again, you can set up the formatting of the field here. This way, the total cost shows up in the report. Finally, one last thing. Since we only want to show the total cost of the event and not the 4 custom fields as they are shown here, we need to hide them. We do that in the output, where we add them to the field Hidden Fields. This way, they do not show up in the report and we only see the total cost.